My partner and I are doing a research paper about the effects of capitalism in our society. We are asking people questions to find out what they care about the most or think is the most interesting to learn about how Americans live in a capitalist society. Do you mind if we ask a couple questions?
Okay.
Before we begin, if you agree to do a 20-second video response for these answers, my partner and I will receive 10 extra credit points. This video response will only be used for classroom purposes and will not be posted to any media website, blog, email, etc. with your signed permission. If you do not wish to do a video response, we will use verbal answers for classroom purposes. Do you give permission?
Yeah.
Okay. On the topics listed here, which would you care to read about most? Gender issues, American prison system, environment, politics, technology, fetishes, intellectual property, natural disasters, and work life. Out of the topics. Work life? Okay. Why?
Because it would affect me more. In college, I get a job when I'm done. So,
Okay.
that would like.
I will read the following stories that are in today's news. Which of these scenarios is most interesting and why? I'm going to read you the scenarios now. Just listen and see which one you like the best.
Okay.
Fast food workers across the country are striking against their employers for fair wages. They believe they can't feed their families because their paychecks are so low. Fast food places like McDonald's say they will lose money if they give more to the workers. Second one, a standard ground law expansion is going to be voted on in the state of Florida. The expansion will allow people to shoot another person if they feel threatened, whether or not the person uses force, and will require the shooter to fire a warning shot before shooting a perpetrator. Third one, recently states like Colorado and Washington have legalized marijuana for recreational as well as medical use. These states are now seeing a booming market in marijuana sales. Some citizens think selling marijuana is a dangerous mistake. Which of the scenarios is most interesting and why?
I prefer the Florida expansion law. I prefer the Florida expansion law better than others because I guess if I have a problem with somebody and they can easily set up a scenario and they can shoot me, and it's like, what evidence do you have that they were threatened? Because it's based on emotion. I may feel like I'm not threatening them, but they're feeling like they're being threatened. You know, it's all based on, I guess, the person's own perception rather than, it's different if somebody breaks into your house. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's a no-no. You're not supposed to break into somebody's house. Okay, in that scenario, then yes, you can feel threatened. But if you have two people arguing in the parking lot and one person feels threatened, boom, they take out a gun and shoot me, and it's like, in that case, that's a bit, doesn't have any foundation, I would say.
Okay, is that a topic that you're most interested in reading about?
Yeah, I'll read about it, especially if it's going to affect me, just in case I get into arguing with somebody. You know, I guess it will make people feel, I guess, since with that law, they would want to protect themselves more. You know, because it's like anywhere, like for example, that guy over there, I could start calling him stereotypical names, and then, you know, he feels threatened as a result. He could pull out a gun and shoot me. So it's like, well, it's, you know, is it also giving the person permission to walk around with a concealed weapon as well? Like, because I know for some people they're supposed to keep it in their cars, and for others it's like if they feel threatened, they can feel threatened anywhere. You don't only feel threatened when you're in your car. So while you're walking around, you can feel threatened. So it kind of gives a person permission to walk around with the weapon. When they're walking around with the weapon at any moment, especially if you have an anger problem or if you have a temper, then people react. And as a result, when a police officer comes to the scene, you can say, well, I felt threatened. You know, who are you to say that? And, you know, where does that come from? There is no video that's there because not everywhere has surveillance. So it's like, is the offender gets the one to be the one that says they're the ones that's threatened? Like, you know, like, where do you come up with that? It makes no sense to me.
Okay, thank you for participating in this survey.